sweet dear magical friends. Welcome, willkommen to your psychic tarot reading with me, Natalie, spelled Natalee, as we open up the energies of your download using the tarot. Tuning into your energies, I picked up this, you feel it in your chest, and it's like a moving heaviness. It's either something that impacts you, like you feel it coming in. It could be something that's going to drop down into your stomach, or it's something that is going forward, but like it's a heaviness. It's something like big and heavy and moving is how I would describe it. Let's take a look at this energy. Let's open this up. What are you feeling in the chest? Could be someone that you're connecting to. What are they feeling in the chest? Why is it in the chest? What does this have to do with? What message am I here to deliver? 10 of Wands to start. It's a pretty weak card to start. The best news about this is that it is almost over. It is almost over. You've been, you know, for some of you, this is a relief. This is like, it just drops. You know, the weight or the stress, the burden, fear, I don't know, whatever you're carrying, it's just like it leaves, but you've been carrying it, holding it in your chest. Now, that could be a good thing, or it could be something good that you don't want. It's not, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, just might find you get what you need. So this could even be something that you've been trying to bear, that you want to bear, you want to hold on to it, you want to carry it through, you want to, you know, and it might drop, and you feel it, you feel that heaviness moving from your chest, you know, but it just still might be like it wasn't your choice. Kind of like exhaustion in some cases. I'm not getting exhaustion, but that's just the example. 9 of Pentacles. It'll be very important to remind yourself of all of the things that you've overcome already. To not just get to where you are right now, okay, that's not the end all be all of life. Money, respect, power, influence, popularity, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's about who you are. Who you are is all that you have. It's everything that you have. That's what this is about. It's not about, sure, this is financially comfortable. So yeah, you got the roof over your head, you've got the money, you've got the car, you've got your stuff. We like stuff, you know. Sure, enjoy it, fine, okay, all right. It's not what it is though. It's not what it's about. So I'm just getting. I talked to one of my my hierophants about their favorite victories, and this was like a whole other. They had you guys are very impressive, like psychically, you guys really impressive. So it was sort of connected to something else. In this case, I want you to think about your victories in life. I want you to think about your favorite victories and just the things that you're the proudest that you've overcome, specifically that you've already done it. You've already overcome it. Okay, your favorite victories. Like, what are you really proud of yourself that you overcame? Maybe it was solving some mechanical problem. Maybe it was figuring out how you were going to afford your life. Maybe it was a health challenge, or you know, getting your strength back from some debilitation, you know, just some, whatever it is, you know. Think about a couple, think about a few of your favorite victories, because it's not about the things, it's not about the money that you earned, that you created, it's not about the abundance, it's about who you are, how you had to change and become the person that is now in that lived experience. So you're a different person, you're just different when you overcome something. And that's why it's important to think about the victories that are your favorite victories, because you did it already. You know, there's two sides of age, right? There's, you know, youthful sprightliness, and you've got potential, you've got everything ahead of you. It's all unwritten, it's all unlived life yet. That's great. On the other side of that, you have actualized potential. You have everything that you did. You have everything that you actualized, the decisions you made, and you can be proud of that, hopefully. But in any case, in both instances, you have who you are at that moment. That's the only thing that counts. Who you are is everything that you have. It is all that you have. You can take away everything else, even beauty. You can do a freak accident and all of a sudden your face is all fucked up or your body's all fucked up. You know, like any of those things that can just be taken out from under you by circumstances and things beyond your control or imagination. You're left with who you are. And if that's not tip top, it's just, I'm just getting such a big emphasis on this. So whoever needs to hear this, whoever this message is for, it's just the most important thing. It's like the only thing you need to really consider whenever you tune, if you're watching this in 2039, look at that, that's right now. You're right now, whenever you're watching this. And for the time after that, let this sink in and really let it marinate. Really think about it. Thought so. 5 of Cups, King of Wands, and I'm going to take these other 3. The World, the 10 of Cups, and there's a wand, 6 of Wands. Don't let anyone, I said this was a different message. I remember this because this was so crazy. Someone wrote a song and used this as one of like the main lyrics, and they sent it to me, and it was so cool. It was like musical, and like part of it was like rap, and it was a really cool song. You Can't Have Who I Am. You might be able to search that in the videos. I'm not sure if that was like the title, but I remember that. That's the only thing I remember of the whole reading. And that's what this feels like. You cannot have who I am. So I want you to just really ground down how you define yourself, to yourself, for yourself. Like, who are you? What you know, if who you are is everything that you have, it's all you have, what does that look and feel like to you? Because there might be some closure coming up for you or happening right now where you don't let anyone else have who you are. You can't have who I am. And when you let someone guilt trip you, when you let someone make you feel insecure, when you let someone hijack your feelings, manipulate you, whatever it is, indirectly, on purpose, not on purpose, whatever, even if it's like life and circumstances, or you're looking at people that just have 10 times more than whatever you have, or they're 10 times younger than whatever you are, or they're like whatever that happens to be, whatever your little version of the rat race is, you know what I'm saying? Ever that happens to be, they have who you are, and they're shaping it and they're molding it. All these societal structures, internalized misogyny, all that fucking bullshit is just like illusory, just taking who you are away from you. And it's not, and it's like Facebook, how people just voluntarily just give all this information away. People voluntarily give themselves away. So it's not even, you can't even blame the advertisement for the whatever it is, the alcohol, the anti-wrinkle cream, the whatever the fuck it is. It's not even like their fault. It's your responsibility to own who you are and to become who you want to become. It's not what you were born into. It's not the life you were born into. It's what you make of it. It's your own sense of destiny, your own sense of creating yourself from the ground up. Can you tell I'm American? And it's you creating yourself in your own image. There's closure with this. This could be like a point of manifestation. You could have like your angles and like in your chart being very activated. There's some kind of or maybe you're like doing something creative and you're putting like your heart and soul into it. This could even, if this is like a relationship, this could be a moment of like breakthrough and vulnerability and honesty, that kind of a thing. Something real honest, though, real true, really sincere. God, isn't that just a breath of fresh air? Sincerity. God, there's just so much sarcasm and meanness and inauthenticity and just meanness. That it's just like sincerity is just so refreshing. God, whenever I see it, I'm like, you know, I'm just like, give me more of that. Like I want that. More, give me more of that, please. How do I sign up for more of that? You can say anything. You can be anything. You could be at any stage of development. You could have addictions and problems. And, you know, we are all, if you're alive, you are working on something. We're all growing through certain things. We're all in different fucking cycles, right? So you can talk about it. You can be all of that. And if you're sincere about it, it just makes you so much more lovable. It makes you so much more likable. It's like, you know, it's like a you can have any conversation you want when you're sincere, and then there's nothing to fear when you're sincere. I'm so annoying. I know. I know I am. I'm really happy for you. God, I love this world and the Ten of Cups. It's just so complete. That's what it feels like. It feels like it's just complete. For some of you, the chest, something is moving in your chest. It's emotion. The emotion just move. You feel it physically. The emotion physically moves your chest around. Oh my God, like you feel it physically. And it feels complete. It feels so good. But you are like, this, like I love this. I love how she talks to me. It's so special. It's like the end of The Nightmare Before Christmas when Jack has been blown to smithereens and he's in the graveyard and he's lamenting, like it's called Jack's Lament. What have I done? 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 But there's still time to make things right. He has this moment where he understands, he realizes what he did. He tried to take someone else's holiday, and that was wrong. It's the wrong thing to do. He made a mistake. He was foolhardy and arrogant and, you know, kind of American. Like, I like this. I'm gonna go take it, you know, and it was mine, you know. And he's like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I did this and it was so wrong. And like, oh, I fucked it all up. And oh, you know, what have I done? And then his cycle is so much shorter because it's a movie and it's a children's movie and it's a song. But we go through this, it takes a lot longer. But he comes around and realizes, like, I can still make it right. Two of Cups. I can still make this right. I can still save this thing. I can still. And then he's the hero. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're sincere, you can make mistakes. You can fall flat on your face. You can do all of that. When you learn from the mistakes and you're sincere about it, but you have to care about this. You have to care more about who you really are and understand that that is all that any of us have. So when you give that power away, when you give who you are into the hands of, you know, the patriarchal system or the misandry, which is the hatred of men. Misogyny is a hatred of women. Misandry is a hatred of men. Or whatever the mold is. I'm so Venus. I think Venus is like conjuncting my moon right now. I'm Venus and moon in Aquarius person. This is very Aquarian energy. So, you know, this is like, it sets you free. It sets you fucking free. It sets you free. But you have to care about it. You have to care more about who you are, more than you care about anything else. And that's what it was about for Jack, because he got back to his identity. He's the Pumpkin King. He's the Pumpkin King. Like he already has an identity. He already has an entire town. He already has a holiday, you know? So he makes it right. He puts Sandy Claus back in, you know, like he does fix it. He gets rid of Oogie Boogie. All the things. All of the things. So there's something, like, I don't know if this is like an ego thing that you've got to get over, or but you don't be afraid to make it right. Don't be afraid to be honest. Don't be afraid to be sincere. Because whatever the resistance is, if it's ego, if you don't want to be the first one to reach out, if you don't want to be the first one to apologize, or whatever that is, recognize that. I was just talking on my Patreon, like, it's like yesterday or the day before. I was talking about I have my Mars in Aries and it squares my Sun in Capricorn. That's like textbook astrology self-sabotage. And I was talking about how I'm just so like, I just sort of like compulsive, sort of like obsessive, and like I just click through things. Like I click through just to get things out of my way. If there's notifications, just click to get out of my way. And the self-sabotage part of it is I miss important messages. I miss important information because I'm just get out of my way. I'm obsessed. I want to do this thing. There's all these notifications. You're saying I'm gonna get the fuck out of my way. But you know, it's like rushing through something, going really fast. Like, but I had to really learn how to give myself runway, you know, but self-mastery and spiritual evolution, it's not about never feeling those things. I'm always going to feel that way. All those feelings of impatience are going to come up in me and I'm going to feel them. But it's how I alchemize them and how I recognize it and, you know, do my little magic and make it work for me that makes all the difference. So whether this is your ego or going back on an action or having to overdo or do something like whatever this is, like just don't be afraid to just jump in. Don't be afraid to let yourself be moved, and don't resist sincerity, because it looks even better when you're sincere. It looks even better. We love people more when they're like that. Okay, it's this like old boys toxic corporate psychopathic thing where you never apologize and you double down and you gaslight and narcissistic type stuff. That's very like prevalent, right? We love people so much more, like on the world stage, when they're sincere and they do admit and they do apologize and they do learn from their mistakes. We just, it's like, I'll go into battle with you. I'll die beside you, and I'll die with honor, fighting beside you and fighting for you. That is powerful. That is incredible. No one ever feels like that for someone who doesn't admit a mistake or never apologizes or is insincere. Tell me about the Ten of Wands. The Hierophant. Because I have my Venus on the galactic center, Sagittarius, I always wonder, like, my channeling, like, where, like, sometimes I can see where it comes from, like, visually, like, in okay, let me just stay on track here. The Hierophant with the Ten of Wands. For some reason, this feels really alone. This is this is like an internalized belief that's really weighing you down. And it feels like something that was more so taught to you by like your early childhood environment or through your parents or your siblings or um, like maybe your early like neighborhood or something. But it feels like something that you believe that is like on some kind of probably unconscious or subconscious level that is not getting you the results you want, and it's not working for you. You're outgrowing it. And it's like loneliness, though. It has something to do with loneliness or a feeling of loneliness or a feeling of isolation or a feeling of alienation or a feeling of like not connecting with people. And this could be someone that works a lot. I'm getting kind of like a workaholic energy where you work and, you know, maybe it's like superficial or maybe it's just like a lot of work or something, but it's something is blocking you from yourself. All right, let's take a look at this Nine of Pentacles, which has been so, oh my God, the Five of Swords. This Nine of Pentacles has been so like loud this whole reading. So with the Five of Swords though, okay. With the Five of Swords. Everything that I said is underlined and underscored and italicized and emboldened, all of that, okay? This Five of Swords, like you do need to walk away from something, and it needs to be, I feel like you don't even have to be pushed into this. I feel like you are like ripping yourself away from anything that is not really you, anything that's insincere. And this might, however it manifests for you, you are doing this for yourself, your self-interest. This is what's best for you. You can't be thinking about what's best for all these other people or taking into consideration, like, I don't know, like others' feelings necessarily, or like, okay, this is you deciding for yourself who you are, seeing it as what you have, who you are is what you have. Maybe thinking about your favorite victories, maybe thinking about all the things you're most proud of in yourself. That's really what you have, what you've learned from your experiences, and using all of that to give you the confidence. For some of you, it's cutting out people, sure. Whether it is or not, it's cutting out a belief about you, about your life, about a person, about other people, about your future, about your past. It individuates you from something that was just heavy. This is like breaking free of like a negative household. Like I'm getting someone might have grown up with like a really negative dad or a really negative mom or a really negative grandparent that raised you, or like a really negative clique at school, or like I'm actually specifically for some of you getting negativity, like that you just grew up with like a fucking Debbie motherfucking Downer, and maybe super sarcastic. Oh yeah, really? They are a Debbie Downer? Really, Natalie? Like just someone, like any fucking thing that you say is like they can just, oh really, every little thing that I say, you know, it's like just the grinding voices. Like I'm just getting someone that's like, I don't know if they talk loudly or if their voice is just unpleasant or they're always just saying something really negative, but I'm just getting like a weird unpleasantness. This might be something that you don't even remember a lot of, or you just remember enough to know generally what the vibe was at that time. Could have been abusive. But it wouldn't be, I don't feel like you're in like a situation like that now. This feels like maybe you're out of like that bad home situation, or you're out of that abusive relationship, or you're out of that like poverty, or you're out of, you know, you're I feel like you're out of the trauma situation, but there's some like residual leftover subconscious belief that's lingering that you're now needing to cut out of your life. You know, it would be maybe like the low self-esteem that got you into the bad relationship, or the feeling of not good enough that drives you to be the workaholic, or the feeling of needing to earn love from your negative parent or your abusive parent that drives you to overachieve. You know, it's that. It's the thing behind the thing. So it's not it's not like treating the symptom. It's like going all the way back to the root. So that's what I'm getting with this. I feel so, this feels so lonely. You got to get over that. Okay, listen. You got to learn how to be with your own company and love being in your own company. And really, but really pay attention if you are, I gotta be productive, or I gotta check in on so and so, or I gotta, you know, whatever that like spinny compulsion. Why do I know so much about self-mastery? How am I at this level? There were so many years that I thought I was meditating. I wasn't. I never, I like, it was my goal for so long. Like, can I just learn to fucking meditate? Because guys, I remember one time, I know I told this story on the internet already, so it's okay. But like my momentum, like this Mars square sun, like I just hated to slow down. Like even in a grocery store, you know, walking behind someone that's like slower than me, like drove me crazy. I remember something happened, I was mad or something, and I was walking towards the exit of like a Dunkin' Donuts or a Walgreens or something by the train station, and the door was an automatic door, but it wasn't like opening fast, like something was fucked up about it. And I was not going to slow my roll, and I stomp kicked the door right through, and I just kept walking because it just like bugs under my skin if I just slowed down my pace. I still walk really fast too. I walk like I'm zigzagging, trying to get shot in the parking lot or something, but it's not, I don't even know how fast I was walking back then. But like, you know, so it's like, but it's not me being impatient. I didn't have anywhere super deadline to be. So what was it? What was that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I know so much about this because I know the behind the scenes, psychically, spiritually, all that kind of stuff. So I want you to do the same. I want you to look at that. But be sincere with yourself and be kind with yourself about it. Because this loneliness isn't real. It doesn't have to feel that way. It doesn't have to feel that way. For some of you, it's loneliness, but for some of you, it's inadequacy. It's feeling too skinny, too fat, too old, too young, too tall, too short, not successful enough, not rich enough, not, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but what's behind that? What is behind that? Reach for sincerity. Start with yourself first. Tell me about this over here, the King of Wands, Five of Cups, the World, the Ten of Cups, and the Six of Wands. I really wish I had YouTube astrologers and tarot readers and psychics like when I was a teenager. And there are, I don't know why it didn't occur to me. It did not occur to me to look on YouTube for that stuff. There's like people I would have found like years ago that it would have just been so cool. It would have been so cool to grow up with that, you know? Double Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. All right. Oh, we didn't even do the bottom of that deck. Okay, the bottom of this deck is the Magician. Ooh. And the World, double World. And the Sun. Happy days. Happy days are upon you, my dear. What's the bottom of this deck? I didn't even look. The Seven of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. So for some of you, it's time. Like worried about time, worried about, I don't know, age. Maybe you found your first gray hair or something, like, or there's something there. There's like internalized misogyny, internalized unconscious bias, internalized, what are the other things? Internalized, what else? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Internalized something, some kind of complex. But it's like ageism, or it's something that is not you. That's my point. Don't let them have who you are. Don't let them decide who you are. So the truth behind what's driving your behaviors, that's what I want you to get at. I want you to reclaim who you are, so that you're thinking and speaking and acting as an individual, as an independent person. And that's what drove me, is that I didn't want to be like the Godfather on strings. I hated it. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand living so compulsively. I couldn't stand being so impatient all the time. I couldn't stand being so angry. I couldn't stand it. And I just couldn't stand it anymore. And there's like, I'm always gonna have moments like that. When you're born with like a lot of squares, a lot of internal tension, you have to keep growing, or you just keep self-sabotaging. You either learn from pain and you grow, you learn from your reward cycles and your abundance cycles and you grow, or you just stay in pain and nothing feels fulfilling. Nothing's enough. When you buy something, your happiness level peaks and then it goes right back down to where it was before you bought it. It's like that. It's like nothing is ever going to keep you. There's always going to be that the program running in the background, and that subconscious. So, but it's also one of the things that I'm also an inventor. So I think I registered my first patent like when I was, anyways. But it's like there's always going to be something, and that's why it's important to be very humble about, we're all fucking here to learn something, so you can take that judgment bullshit like right off the table, so don't do that to yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't, because we're all here, all on earth. And this looks so happy. This looks so glorious. Oh, and you have the Wheel of Fortune under that, and you have the Six of Wands under that. Ooh, and you have the Hermit under that. So, going into the South, okay? Like, look at this graduation. This is your reward. This is a victory that you're going through right now. You can't see the matrix when you're in the matrix. You can't see how victorious you are, how victorious you're going to be, because you're in the work. You're doing the work right now in this reading. And as you exit this reading and it seeps in and it's just in your subconscious and it comes through, and you and I being connected like this. If you guys feel like you know me, you know me. If you feel like you're connected to me, you're connected to me. Okay? I'm channeling your messages, okay? So whenever anything that I do, anything that I say, anything that I post, when it resonates with you, okay? My Venus has that galactic center phone call, always on the phone. This is your reward, is that you get to, and see, here's the personal experience. When I overcame these things about myself, when I just got to a point where I just couldn't stand being the same, I couldn't stand not having control over myself, I couldn't stand feeling certain ways. This is what it felt like to overcome it. This is what it felt like when I had breakthroughs. It was like, oh my God, I have more of who I am, who I really am, who I decide I want to be. And I'm not the programming. I'm not what happened to me. I'm not how I grew up. I'm not a product of society. I'm not the product of trauma. I'm not a statistic. I'm not a projection of what someone wants me to be for them. I decide my signal. You know what I mean? That's your reward, is that you have more. When you have that self-mastery, anything is possible. But that's the real reward, is that you have more of who you are. And if who you are is all that you really have, then isn't that the only thing that matters? Having an abundance of. is who you really are. Let's talk about this, the two fives and the double five of cups. So this is a test. It's a test of self-confidence. It's a test of resources, self-esteem. You've got to make it right with yourself. Forgive yourself, love yourself for, mistakes or not seeing opportunities, or this is almost like maybe you blame yourself for your mom leaving, maybe you blame yourself for your dad killing himself, maybe you blame yourself, you know what I'm saying? There's something kind of like that here that this is touching on. But your challenge, or if this is a mistake that you made, or something that you did, it's being Jack Skellington, and there's still time to make things right. Sincerity, connect to the sincerity. Even when I apologize, like nowadays, people are like scared of me, and it's the weirdest thing. Like, I'm the one apologizing and they're scared, and I do everything to make them comfortable, but I don't know, I get whatever. But it's just, I guess it's kind of intense because I'm serious, I'm and it's, that's another thing, is that the toxic stuff is saying, never admit to anything, never apologize, because that'll open the gate to other criticism, and you want to strong arm people, and when someone criticizes you, you should be a narcissistic personality and you should double down on your lies. That's been the prevailing toxic bullshit of life for a long time, right? And this, so it's like in everyone's sort of ingrained, there's a lot of weird collective stuff, okay? But think about Jack Skellington instead, and think about how you're even more of the hero to your own self and your own life when you are really honest with yourself about how you feel, about what these truths are. Because there is, guys, I am telling you, I've been through absolutely traumatizing ego deaths, and I think my ego deaths are one of the things that some of my favorite victories are surviving ego deaths. And I'm telling you, when you do survive, you have more of yourself with you. And it feels like this. You're more empowered. You literally have more power. You are literally a more powerful magician, occultist, person. Let's just say you're a person. Okay, if you don't like those titles, whatever. I don't know if I can care. Whatever. You can do more. Okay, you're more of a magician. You can, and you're more of a stronger signal, stronger presence. So that's the test, is to be honest and sincere with yourself about whatever that, and you're gonna feel it you're gonna feel something, I'm telling you, you're gonna feel something moving, like in your chest, like side to side, up and down, spinning around, like you're gonna feel it. Okay, so just be honest about it. This is hard stuff. This is like being honest that you are jealous of your daughter because she's got the whole world ahead of her, and you guys got along because she was just a mini you, and she was just little, and she just did everything you told her to do, but now she's making her dreams come true and you're not. Or being jealous of your son because he's got his head on straight and you were an addict for 20 years. And you know what I'm saying? It's like these hard truths. Being honest with yourself that you have that you never actualize your potential because you have a subconscious loyalty to one of your parents, that if you did better than them, that they wouldn't love you anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, it is something like that. It's something like that. Because the price is what you pay the price. The price is not having as much of you to live your life. And I mean, when I say that, I mean the things that you're saying, your behaviors, the actions that you're taking, how you are living your life, and the decisions you're making, how you're interacting, the quality of your relationships, absolutely everything reflects this. The level of how much of you do you really have, and how much of it is a program. How much, if you're at a dinner party, how much of you is really there versus a subconscious program? Is it your insecurity that's doing a lot of the socializing for you? Is it your overcompensating ego that is making you a little bit louder than everyone else and sharing everything, so much of what you know? Is it, now listen, all that shit is great for screenwriting. It's great for storytelling, and it's great for movies. I'm writing them. I know what I'm talking about. Living your life. You're losing your time. You're losing who you are. You're losing your energy. And it's like robbing you of your own life experience. And it's your fucking life. You should own it. You should live it. You shouldn't be out chasing cars or spending all your money on, you know, champagne, caviar, and naughty women just because it's what everyone says is the definition of glamour and success and all that bullshit. Okay? It's like, is there any more guidance? This is the test. But you're like, I feel like you've already been on some kind of journey like this. So I feel like this is just like the last one. This might be like a brush up to make sure that you really got it this time. Sometimes the universe does that too. I can't decide how I feel about like a nude lip on me. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is it the red lip or is it the pinky nudie lip? It's beautiful hair. You can let me know. Vote down below in the comments. Okay. Any guidance for my people? Ooh. That's a lot. I'm just taking the one that flipped upright and then the card that's turned down that's touching it. Because there's 4 cards over there that are face down. So we'll do the bottom of this and the bottom of that and then these 2. A new start is coming. I would hope so. Because with the world energy, it's an ending and then it's also a beginning. So a new start is coming, new moon energy. Give yourself the gift of a clean slate. That's the 5 of Cups too. Yes, there was loss. Yes, there was grief. Yes, there was, you know, lost opportunity, lost time, and there's no one to blame but you, because you gave who you are away. You gave it away like you give away your information for free on the internet. Bottom of this glob is conclusions are within reach, thank goodness. Very refreshing. And then these 2, we've got have faith in your dreams. I love this so much. This is so encouraging. This is like Jack Skellington. Okay. Have faith in your dreams. Jack Skellington didn't be like, oh, I'm just not ever going to be the king of Halloween Town ever again, you know. Oh, and hold your vision. Excuse me. I actually need some. Ich brauche ein bisschen Wasser. Nur ein bisschen. Einen Moment bitte. I have like these really little, what are they called? Like these really little, these things. Like they're really little though. And they're really close. Anyway, okay. Distracting. Hold your vision and have faith in your dreams. I feel, of course I'm feeling this. Holding your vision is who you are. Build yourself up in your own image. Really. What would that look like if you had all of you with you? That's powerful. That's very powerful. I feel like, you know, this having faith in your dreams, that's part of this belief that you don't have faith in your dreams, that you don't believe in yourself, that you have to work that was me. I was a workaholic, and I just felt like I had to just always be doing something productive to feel valuable. I felt like I always had to feel useful. I felt, and I can catch myself now feeling like I need to, like, if I have a crush on someone, if I want to be someone's friend, I always try to, like, how can I be useful to them? How can I improve their career? How can I support them? How can I get them more money? How can I, I'm always like thinking utilitarian, like how could I be useful in this person's life? How can I help them? And I mean, that's just one example. You have your own examples, but like to feel worthy, to feel like I'm earning something, and I'm earning this good positive connection. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but it's not about that. It's like, well, why do I think that? Why do I feel that way? Why is that my first instinct? Why wouldn't I feel like someone just likes me for who I am? That's weird to me. Like even now, like that's like I'm still. Everyone has stuff like this. So it's like, what is it for you? And don't make it to fall in love. For the dear love of God, please don't make it to fucking fall in love. Make it yourself, falling in love with yourself. It's always like you. So, everyone's got relationship stuff, or, subconscious programming, and, stuff, relationships with money and wealth and abundance and other people and their parents and themselves and religion and God and earth and global warming. Like there's so much out there. So narrow it down and just focus on cutting everything out that's not who you are, but defining that for yourself first, which is hold your vision. Okay. So I feel like this is a major breakthrough because you're about to have reason to have faith in your dreams and have faith in yourself. Have more faith in your value to yourself first, because you give that power. You don't do that. I have my stellium and my Capricorn stellium in my 7th house, and that's what it goes. But don't give that power. So I know a thing or two. Don't give your power away to that other person, or to that job, that career, that status, that popularity. That shit's gonna get pulled out from under you, or it can. It's not what you have. And that's not who you are. Who you are is what you have. I love you. Take very good care. Until next time, my loves. Many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah.